Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm one Jin.
We're going to talk about Fargo Season 5, Episode 4, Insolubilia. Latin for unsolvable, unforgivable, whatever. Shout out to ZZ, Scott Walker.
Hui Chan Hong.
Zach Does Movies. Here we go. Full spoilers ahead for Episode 4.
Major spoilers for not only Season 5 of Fargo, but every season.
And the movie. Hey, let me go first one, Jen. This episode was a perfect Fargo episode in the fact that it had all the Coen elements that were kind of missing in the prior episodes. I love the bureaucracy moment. Because remember a Coen Brothers movie, Burn After Reading? It's all about bureaucracy and how they don't get, like, how they try to make sense of reality and where the reality is actually more funny than fiction. Here, there's already something like that happening where I love the FBI going to their boss and the boss giving a Mao Zedong sparrow thing. But this episode is also about truth. Because every Fargo episode deals with if we say it didn't happen, did it happen? Because the massacre of Sioux Fall is like portrayed in season 2 but explained in season 1, and we get to see the real thing, and the real thing is much more violent than we thought. Than the epigram. It's like the Killer of the Flower Moon thing, where Killer of the Flower Moon says, "Oh, these episodes happen in sequence," but in the movie they show us the humanity behind those things
and the brutality. Yeah,
thank you, Zezzy. We're back. So this episode is really already dealing with that heavy theme. Because remember, there are two scenes here that I love. One is Nadine telling her daughter and her husband that what just happened didn't happen. And her former husband telling, after he brutally killed a man, and telling her that this did not happen. Exactly. So it's really about... Because you have to remember, we're already comparing Nadine and Jon Hamm. And at least to us, as of the 4th episode, Nadine comes off as morally good compared to Jon Hamm. But they're already both lying. So my question is, how long can this lie last?
And we already see, remember we mentioned this at our first forecast of Fargo Season 5. There are a lot of ordinary, everyday people getting hurt in Fargo. Basically, they're like, what's the word? I think I need food. My brain's not working.
Oh, yeah.
They're like the collateral damage, basically.
Yeah.
And we already see a hint of that happening in this episode. Nadine's husband almost gets killed because he gets electrocuted.
That's such a bad omen because... And we also, not only that, we get to see how his mother made money. It turns out she's a debt collector. And
I kind of laughed. Basically. She's like a Shylock.
I know. And like, remember last podcast we talked about the Judaism theme of Fargo? Because Coen Brothers are Jewish. Even their English name is like American version of Cohen. Cohen. And you know what I love of this episode is because it also brings the Americanness into the show, though. There is a Jewish theme going on here with all the religious elements. But in this series, Shylock is American. Shylock is Ivy League. Shylock is a woman. So it's already kind of dealing with how our presumptions of certain stereotypes are actually, in fact, in reality, in different groups that doesn't fit the stereotypes as we would think, but it perfectly happens. And already there's an indictment of capitalism going on a little because I felt like this episode structured it in a way where the mother finds out her son in hospital, but I don't see her visiting her son. I see her starting to blame people. Because we never get one scene of her walking in the room where his son is lying in bed.
Yeah. And from previous episodes, when she suspects that Nadine might not be like fully honest about her backgrounds, the first thing she's concerned about is not her son. It's about her money. Yeah. And I also love the monologue that creepy guy has in the scene in the bathtub after he's washing himself from all the mud, because I think it's like a criticism on capitalism. He's saying that freedom is being alive, basically.
Yeah, but that one was a little bit more direct than the one I was trying to make, because I just felt like the way Nadine's mother-in-law deals with crisis is aggression. And to your point, it's just like that killer, but Nadine contrasts directly by showing compassion to her daughter.
Yeah. And her husband.
Well, see, the husband part is a little weird because, this show is so much, it's never really about right and wrong. I just mentioned Miss Shylock not showing actual humanity and compassion to her son, but reacting to that in an aggressive way. That reminded me a lot of Logan Roy in Succession, where every emotional hurt and trauma he gets, he deals with it through pure aggression. Yeah. And it's a very human thing. And you brought up a good point, Wonjin, by the guy in the bathtub. But I felt like the guy in the bathtub was a little bit different, where his monologue goes to Jon Hamm, and he says freedom has a price. That's more of the point. Because he's like Chigurh in the fact that he's the most moral character, possibly. Because remember, in No Country for Old Men, Chigurh is the only one who never breaks his own rule. Yet he is, quote-unquote, the most evil in our Christian Judaic view. But is he, though? Because in his view, he is fair. Nadine is turning more and more into a real gaslighter. Made me wonder if she really is innocent or if she did something to get in this situation. Yeah, Zedzi, that's where we're getting at. See, you just gave an interpretation of what we were talking about. And I feel you, Zedzi. That's the huge thing about Fargo.
And I feel that it's probably coming up in the future episodes.
Yeah.
They will mention, they will give us more information on Nadine's background and her past.
And here's another thing, Wonjin. Nadine knows Gator. And she says, how could you? I wanted to ask her back. First of all, I don't have the full information, but I wanted to say, is Gator your son?
Maybe, or maybe he's a son from
a previous marriage?
From a previous marriage, but she raised him like her own son, perhaps.
So this is the thing. This is why we love Fargo, is because I wanted to say, you judge him. But we seen Gator in the episode 3 where I'm a man. He's in this room. Like, we were in teenagers with
all those
posters,
like heavy metal posters, heavy metal music.
So I was like, how much moral responsibility do you have for him then? This episode answers some questions, but it's also raised another. And the theme I was talking about, lies. The Everyman cop says it directly almost. He's like, no, this is a reality. But everybody around him denies the reality, and we're supposed to be confused by it too.
He was pretty decent when he came to get her back. What do you mean?
Well, that's
decent?
You have to remember, they just committed a home invasion with 4 people.
Yeah, that was like breaking and entering.
Yeah. No, but I think what ZZ is trying to say is, ZZ is talking about what I'm talking about. The conversation between Gator and Nadine. Because there was sort of a mutual respect there. A little bit. That lasted just a moment. And we can't be sure if Gator was willing to hurt Nadine to get her back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Zezzi's talking about that. So I know what Zezzi's talking about. So we're talking about that. So that's why it leads me the question about Wonjin, you brought it up. I gotta ask, who are you, Nadine? When Nadine denied the truth to her husband, we were basically in that husband's shoe in that hospital. We're like, are you really a good person though? I wonder. You seemingly are better than your mother-in-law and the people who attacked your house to possibly harm you. But what about you? And I thought, and I love this episode because Jon Hamm seemed vulnerable. Because, hey, Wonjin, to answer your question about the previous podcast, that killer dude, like, is he immortal or something? Like, because Jon Hamm directly says he might be something else.
Yeah.
And
it kind of gave me this confusion I felt from when I watched that movie by, was it David Fincher? Hold on. Remember that movie, Mulholland Drive? Have you seen that movie, Mulholland Drive? No? It's like the entire movie kind of feels like a dream. And you're not really sure. There are these characters who are seemingly like supernatural. And it just kind of gave me that feeling. It's like, is this an illusion? And I was also surprised by the fact that he just left that mark on the wall.
No, but like you got to remember in season 2 when the alien UFO goes by, gang fighter, they're already asking us. The show is asking us because remember the title shot of this every series is these are based on true events. It says
true story.
Remember Capote, like true crime series is basically a very questionable thing because you add true. Are you talking about does it ring true or does it factually true? And this show is already playing with that notion. But what we're trying to say is this episode is actually making us question the whole thing too. Yeah, he knew about the trash. He knew.
Gator was the only one able to.
Yeah. See, I agree with you, Jesse. There's a history between Gator and Nadine. Because what you're trying to say, Zeddy, is there was a familiarity between the two.
Yeah.
Like they did something together in the past. And, Gator almost felt like a younger brother to Nadine almost. So it raises a lot of question whether Nadine was an older woman that Gator grew up with and married his father now. And Gator is the son of the second wife. And you got to remember, we get a glimpse of Jon Hamm. Here's a man who murders without any cause. I mean, he's different from Chigurh in the fact that I felt like Chigurh's reason for killing people was more pure than Jon Hamm. Yeah. Because Jon Hamm steals from Bible and Constitution from authorities that he justifies as his own. But Chigurh's morality is all his own.
Yeah, and he kind of feels more like a force of nature. That's the feeling I got. He's basically like a natural disaster.
And we're talking about Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. It's a movie, and the novel is by Cormac McCarthy. I'm trying to say, in the novel and the movie, Chigurh's morality is extremely unique. It's like Joker in the fact that it relies on chance. The reason why it relies on chance, it almost feels cynical about human beings, but it's not a doctrine that comes from Bible or Judaism. But the problem with Jon Hamm characters is he always quotes his authorities. He talks about the patriarchy. And this episode was funny because he directly becomes an alpha male. I think he
even mentions himself. I mean, he even like calls himself alpha.
Yeah.
And the other guy beta.
Yeah, so that was I liked it because I thought the show set it up well where it's one of those things where let's say you and I are like reading a detective novel and this is a 400-page novel and we're 100-page in and we're like, oh, you must be the suspect. And the character suddenly says, you must think I'm a suspect to the detective. And so I'm like, wait a minute. Are you going to try to like double conundrum me or triple fuck me? So that's how I felt about that line because it was almost like the show creator, Noah Hawley, was expecting us to think that way. And again, playing with our expectations. So that was actually brilliant. Yeah. But I also one of the fascinating thing about this episode is the evil psychopath character is like a character from 100 Years of Solitude. The fantasy element is surprising.
It's always such characters that make Fargo even more intriguing. We have these like supernatural elements. Remember in I think season 4 that tornado passes, and also in the first season Billy Bob Thornton, we kind of question his identity. What is he?
No, but let me make a distinction here. The tornado in season 4 was beautiful in the sense that it was not a human thing. Hey, let me tell you something. In Judaism, only God can do that. And you know how it came at a time where it didn't give a fuck about your human affairs. But here, at least up to episode 4 in this season, I felt like it was very grounded on Earth. Even that evil psychopath guy, he adds humanity by saying, I want pancakes.
Yeah, pancakes. That was very random. And I also love the old lady, like, constantly puzzled. She lets him in the house, but she's asking him.
No, but it's more like she can do nothing about it.
Yeah, but I like the fact that she was in the bathroom, like right next to him. When I think
dark comedy.
When I think supposedly she wasn't forced to be there, but she just happens to be there, listening him talk and asking him those questions. It's like, what do you want?
No, but you got to remember, like in her defense, though, when you see a guy who just comes into your house, says, I'm your son now, you're my mother, disappears for a couple days, come back in mud and blood, and says, does this diatribe, does this speech about kings and freedom, and asks about pancake. Listen, if I'm the grandma, I'm making you pancakes. I'm not calling the cops or nothing. I'm making you pancakes. I'm making sure you're happy and you get a good sheet. And that was funny as hell. That was really funny. But I do feel like I love the actor. I knew his name. He's actually a very famous like a character actor too. But I do love how this season is playing with our expectations about him. Because remember, in season 1, the brutal killer is unexplained. The second one, it's a Native American who's oppressed by his adopted German family. In season 3, he's a capitalist with a vomiting issue because he's so greedy as well. But in episode 4, the psychopath is a nurse, a serial killer that is actually based on a lot of historical records. Here, we're seeing for the first time a character that is actually never explained.
Yeah, it just hinted that there was the sin eater, so-called sin eater, like hundreds of years ago, but we're not even sure if it's the same guy. Yeah, so there's no explanation on this.
I know. So he's more close to season 1.
Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah, that character, like, his name was Mal. Like, was it? Like, his name is direct like that. Here, we're already getting to a return to formula where this guy has no context whatsoever. He's a guy who hired, and then the only knowledge we get too close to him being real is when Jon Hamm says, you're in for the money, right? You believe in money, right? But this motherfucker, I don't think he cares about money now. Now that he's willing to say, you owe me a debt.
Yeah, because I think, like, the moment Jon Hamm did not keep his word, I think he basically crossed the line that shouldn't have been crossed.
Yeah, because I felt like it was one of those lines where any recompense of legal document has no power. Because I'm like, dude, if you can walk into his house, you can rob his vault, man. Why aren't you just robbing his vault and taking his cash? No, you want to take time to humiliate him with the sigil? I was like, yeah, this is some shit. This is a beast of man, like a Beelzebub shit. Yeah, you just had a bad day. I'll make you pancakes. Yeah, and that was really precious and cute and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, and going back to the bureaucracy, you know that scene where the FBI agents had a conversation with the what's the other guy?
The director?
The director guy?
Yeah, we never get a name though.
Yeah, I think he also kind of represented a lot of the black and white logic. Because the FBI agents, they basically just want to stick to what the law says, the Constitution. And they want to uphold what the Constitution says. But, you know, the director guy was concerned that, I mean, yes, Jon Hamm is selling tactical weapons to this militia. And he's basically asking, is that the most pressing concern that we have?
No, but that's a question of... I think you mentioned this in Fargo about the CIA agent. That's about... Fargo deals with this all the time, but it's about levels of evil. And he actually makes a valid point.
Yeah.
Because I know he's evil, but if we get rid of him, there's a chance of a greater evil that could occur. And sometimes, let me tell you something. He was just trying to say, sometimes the cure is worse than the disease. And listen, that's a... That's a very powerful theme throughout Fargo.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The directors tells them straight to their face that leave this as a hobby and follow other leads. But like the moment he leaves, one of the agents gets a message, and then they just go straight back into hunting Jon Hamm and his mischief. And I also, like you said, I think it's like a recurring theme on Fargo. They're given a chance to make choices, and I just had this feeling that these agents are making the wrong decision here.
No. I disagree. I know what you're trying to say, but let me tell you something. I think it's a bigger theme about, no Fargo character ever in the TV series did what they were told to do. That's a theme I think you'll like. That's what I'm saying. For the quote-unquote good side and the bad side. Listen. Even in episode 1, when Malvo told him to, Fargo is... I'm going to go into... Like, you and I are Korean, right, Wonjin? We're always given orders, but we fucking hate it, right? So let me tell you something. This is about human nature where nothing goes according to plan because men's propensity to be disobedient and to seek freedom, and like the psychopath pancake lover said, freedom costs death. This is what I think that's like. It's really talking about human nature. Because let me tell you, Wonjin. Let me give you an example. Let me tell you something, and I say, Wonjin, why don't you go to the bathroom and shit and then come back? Are you gonna do what I say?
No, because I don't want to shit right now.
Exactly, man. I know one thing, Zedzi. This season of Fargo is gonna be different from the rest of them. I'm expecting to be surprised by. I agree, Zedzi. Because hey, Wonjin, this you'll like. This is episode 4, and I feel like we're already getting so much Fargo that the remaining Fargo is gonna be fucking new ass. That's what Zedzi's trying to say. I agree with that. I do feel like Noah Hawley, he knows exactly what we're expecting. That's why he's fucking with our head. Because I feel like episode 5, until episode 5, it will be all Fargo up the ass. And then the remaining episode will be like Last Jedi, where fuck you, fuck what you knew. I'm going to blow your mind, and we might love it or hate it. I think that's where it's going, Zezzy. I kind of agree with you there. But I do feel like it's really talking about free will. I mean, Wonjin, do you like getting ordered?
Not at all.
And listen, Nadine and the mother-in-law's conversation is so interesting in that basically it boils down to fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. We both love my son and your husband, but fuck you. We love our granddaughter, but fuck you. And she's like, no, fuck you. I love my granddaughter and my son, but fuck you. And then Nadine's like, no, I love my husband and I love my daughter, but fuck you. So it's such a... Remember that scene in Wire where Bunk and... They go to a crime scene and
they just basically conversate and fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. The police is still as annoying as it used to be in season 1 to 4. I mean, Zedzi though, you got to remember, like the police.
Yeah, even from the movie, the original.
No, but I want to
have these competent cops.
No, but we cheer for the cops because in Fargo, the movie and the TV series, it's the cops who have rules.
Yeah.
And we know from watching the TV series and spending time with these characters that they are actually competent, but they are different from the villains or the other characters because they follow a rule. Remember in season 2, even the young guy, Patrick
Wilson.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson. It's not that he's not a tough guy. He's a fucking tough guy. Remember when he's in with the Kitchen Brothers and him?
And he's not afraid to like have a standoff with them.
No, but even him and his father-in-law in season 2, it's a thin difference. They both have guns. Remember in Departed, Jack Nicholson says, cop or criminal. When you're holding a gun, what's the difference? In Fargo, the Everyman cop always shows a difference. They don't cross that line. And we are impressed by that because these characters, if you really think about it, they care about family value. They're not rich. For every cop up until season 4, they have no reason to risk their life. They really don't. The gangsters do, because it's about their family, their animal self. But even this episode, that African American cop, he has no reason to come and confirm Nadine is the person in the camera,
because he's also from another district.
But because of his morality, and that's what we admire about the Everyman cop in this show. Because, and let me tell you something, he's not even that special, like us. Let's be honest, we're not that special. We're just two Asian dudes among 50 million.
My mother always told me I was special. What are
Every
you talking about?
mother says their child is special. All our subscribers, let me tell you something. Never mind. You are special to us. So I guess let's keep it that way. But what I was trying to say was, even if you're not special in ability, you can do something that is morally right, that is beautiful.
That's right.
Like even in season 3, remember when that female cop faces him face to face?
Yeah.
It's like a God of War, Nicolas Cage movie moment, right?
Oh, I mean, Lord of War.
Lord of War moment, right?
That in the interrogation room.
I cheered for her. I did. In a way, Fargo lays out all our sins, and in the last episode criticized us in a Judaic way of, see, moral uprightness can win. It's like True Detective season 1. The stars are black, but the sky is black, but there are stars. The darkness is always winning, but our morality and our Aristotelan Nicomachean ethics keep us okay. I hate the head of police in every season. They're blinding in the most obvious way. Yeah, it's Zezzy, I agree. It's always the good detective that's fighting against authority that would do nothing in the face of evil, but it's the good Everyman that keeps in evil. That's why I think we love the Fargo season, because it's really about us too. The darkness is always winning.
But this season is especially interesting because these everyday cops, they have their own issue this time. Oh, right. Remember the female cop with the piece of shit husband, and she's in debt. I
mean, I agree with you on that one. But in season 3, she also had problems. In season 4, the cop actually dies this time. So, we are always aware of the cop's mortality, but here's the thing, Wonjin. They never choose the extreme. The difference between the Everyman cop, there are no villains in Fargo, but if there are villains, it's most likely the main character guys, and For us, the cops never cross the line, and they can sacrifice their life. And remember in season 2, Patrick Wilson's father, Hank, he risked his life to do what's right, and he's not punished. Remember that. He doesn't die until the last episode. But Fargo is always telling us that it may not seem like it, but there is sort of a karma, and there is sort of justice. And I think, back to episode 4, I feel like Nadine's lied to her. You know what this episode made me afraid? This episode, for the first time, made me afraid something might happen to Nadine's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Because in the prior Fargo seasons, I never felt the children were in danger.
Yeah, and I think it's especially true and very likely because her daughter is portrayed as someone who's completely innocent.
Yeah, if I'm watching this, then for me, y'all are special. Hey, Zezzy, you're special to us too. No, but this episode at least made me think that we are gonna cross some lines here.
Yeah, and we got the hint. Nadine wants to be free from the clutches of her ex-husband, but like the creepy guy said, freedom cost life.
Yeah, I think the show is trying to pull us trying to misdirect us in a way we're expecting the husband to die. But I think this season might be the first time we see like a children death. Because you guys got to remember, in Greek tragedy, it was very normal for the theme to be parents losing their child. In Fargo, remember in season 2, all those gangster sons die, but they're adults.
Yeah.
But when a child, quote unquote, child dies,
an innocent one,
it's a little bit different. And I feel like they are gonna cross some lines that maybe have not been crossed before. Hey, but anyway, I want to stop here because we're only in season 4, and I feel like we're already.
I mean,
like,
not season 4, episode 4.
Episode 4. I'm so sorry. We're speculating too much. I'm sorry, my brain is running. So
we need food, and we just got food.
Now, why did you say that one? I was pretending to be dignified. Hey, but if I give an episode this number grade to episode 4, I give it a 9 out of 10 because I was expecting some sledgehammer Home Alone action. It delivered. The suspense was very horrifying. Hey, Scott Walker. Hi, guys. How's it going? Sorry I'm late. The live stream, I just got out of the shower. Hey, shout out to you, Scott Walker. Hey, make sure to watch our live stream on Napoleon. We do give you a shout out, man. We missed you, man. Thank you so much. You and ZZ have been so consistent in your love towards us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please press like and subscribe and leave a reply. We love you. Thank you so much. But, what was I saying?
We were grading it. I would also give it a 9 out of 10, you said, because the way the last episode left us with a cliffhanger, it kept me expecting a lot from this episode, and it did deliver. The first half of the episode gave us that crazy adult Home Alone action, and it also had a little twist where the electrocution, the trap, was not it was intended for the intruders, but the husband gets caught by the trap, so it was a surprise. I did not expect the house to burn down, but it did give us. It did give me a lot of suspense, and I also love the thematic elements that goes on throughout the show, and up until episode 4, I love how it is being reinforced by new information and new scenes.
No, but I'm sorry to cut you off, but the house burning down, I felt like was in Killer of the Flower Moons. Remember the house bomb? I just felt like it was a prelude to more violence to come. Hey Scott, what do you guys think of the Titan submarine missile design? Do you think there's any similarity between that and the Titanic? It's very sad to see what happened to the 5 men. Oh man, you're talking about that. ZZ, there aren't many movies to show these kind of scenes. I'm not sure it's allowed for them to portray that. Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, I want to ask our subscribers. You guys want to talk about? You want us to talk about current issues? We could add a special episode after every movie or TV series review if you want. Hey, but shout out to Scott Walker. Thank you for your diverse interest, man. But back to Wonjin's point, I do feel like I think they're going to do the episode of season 4 and episode 4 where the season 2 was escalation to mayhem, right? I do feel like the mayhem we're going to see is going to be the most horrific shit we ever seen before. I do feel that way. And I agree. Maybe 9 out of 10 was better than episode 3, but it could have been more to it. Yeah, but Zezzy, here's the thing. When I see the time and it says 47 minutes, I knew what they were doing. Because I feel like Fargo is going to get us the 1 hour or 50-minute episodes near the 7, 8, 9 period. Because I really trust these Noah Hawley. He like even at season 3 and 4, hey Wonjin, I've been watching season 4 again, and I feel like maybe my bias towards Italian mafia movies were kind of made me like too biased against it.
I was also thinking the same thing. And, I was kind of harsh on season 4 for different reasons. Not because of the Italian mafia thing, but because of Chris Rock.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris Rock. I mean, he did do a great job, but was he, in my eyes, was he the most suitable candidate for that role? I'm not sure. So I was kind of being harsh on it.
Yeah.
But season 4 also had some great thematic elements.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I should watch it again.
Hey, Wonjin, you and we should do another. After season 5 is done, let's do a Fargo breakthrough.
Yeah.
Like every season or the whole show as a whole. And anyway, guys, hey, listen. Shout out to Scott Walker. Shout out to ZZ. Shout out to ZZ. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys want us to cover some topic, please leave it in a reply, and we will check it out, and we will discuss it in Wonjin. I watched Scream 5, by the way, Scott Walker. I did. When was the last time you guys watched the Free Willy movies? Those movies were my favorite films I was growing up. I'm 32 years old, and I've still watched them to this day.
Oh, Free Willy. Like the last time I watched it was like when I was in 6th grade. I remember those films. They were really popular.
Hey, listen. Hey, Zezzy and Scott Walker, let me ask you guys something. You guys do you guys want me and Wonjin to do like because we come do every Saturday, but maybe we do a new movie and we do a classic review and make it a format. If you guys want us to review classic movies, hey, we can. Wonjin and I can talk about it like 3 hours.
I mean, I think I did this like little app thing, like counting how many movies I watched. I watched like 1,400 movies or something.
Let me tell you something. Wonjin has Back to the Future posters everywhere. He's a Terminator crack addict. And there's Leon. There we go. Oh my God. And Quentin Tarantino. Don't get me started about Quentin Tarantino. Wonjin. I used to love Tarantino movie. I still do. But when Wonjin talks about it, I can't wait for him to shut the fuck up. Because
he's so triggered by it.
So passionate about it. I'm like, are you that happy about it? Oh man. So hey guys, here's the idea. Me and Wonjin will discuss it. Hey, but Scott Walker, I'm a huge horror movie fan, but Wonjin is not. So there is a problem with your request. We'll try to make it work. But hey, we will do like classic movie runs maybe in the future, okay?
And just before we end, to answer Scott's question, I think the Titan submersible was really tragic and also ironic at the same time because those were like preventable disasters. And they all happened because of human ignorance, and the very fact that it collapsed. I mean, it basically imploded on its way down to see the Titanic is like super ironic.
No, but let me say the father and son. I like movie talk, but I'm okay with any kind of talk as well. I'm not sure if anybody has time to talk on other topics. Yes, ZZ. But since our subscriber Scott Walker mentioned, let me tell you about that the
submersible.
The father and son team really got to me. The 19-year-old, he was 19-year-old, the kid, the kid. Hey, cause ZZ, me and Wonjin, we're 37. So we're not. When a 19-year-old kid dies like that. And he didn't even need to be there, according to news stories. I don't know if it's true. He just wanted to spend time with his father. Listen, man, you can do those things if you're willing, if you know the price of it. And that's what all these adventures are, right? Because a lot of our civilization are built on those people. But the submersible was sad for me because it was a tourist guide, and I'm pretty sure that 19-year-old had no idea what was going on.
And they were expecting the submersible to be safe.
Yeah.
So that's a tragedy.
Yeah, geez, 400 plus geek. Yeah.
Not 400 plus, 1,400 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time in my life watching movies.
No. We're talking about Wonjin ZZ. We're both nerds. We're two nerds with different tastes. ZZ.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, every time I use the word nerd on this broadcast, I mean, I'll try not to, but that includes myself as well.
Yeah, because last time he mentioned Evangelion.
Yeah.
Hey, but we are both film buffs, guys. Hey, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week, man. Hey, big shout out to ZZ. Always chatting with us. We appreciate you so much.
We appreciate your participation.
Wherever you are, what time you are, thank you so much for tuning in. We won't forget this. And shout out to Scott Walker too. I'm sure you have your busy life. 32, we're 37. We're basically the same generation. Keep the hustle going, man. And Uy-chan Hong, our loyal subscriber who come back to our show later when you have the time. Thank you so much. Hey, big shout out to... Have you watched Rose Red 2002 horror? No, ZZ, I have not.
Me neither. And Scott Walker, I got classic movies for you. Free Willy, Jurassic Park, Scream, Dennis the Menace, The Karate Kid, Disney's Peter Pan, Spider-Man 2002, The Lion King, Jurassic World, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Stephen King's movies.
Hey, listen, you guys don't know. You guys just... Like, you know how much time me and Wonjin talk about... What's that Stephen King-based movie with the aliens coming from the mist?
The Mist. The Mist, yeah.
And listen, Scott Walker, you know how many times we talk about Spider-Man? Are you talking about that trilogy? Because in the Korean podcast, we talk about that to death.
Sam Raimi and, like, the next ones. The one with Andrew Garfield.
Okay. Hey, Scott Walker and ZZ, listen, guys. next week we will be talking about a new show, but the second half will be about one of those things.
Yeah, we'll talk about old movies.
Yeah, because Jurassic Park, I feel like we can talk about the old 1, 2, 3, and then the reboot. And the Scream, I mean, listen, I love the first movie, but Wonjin is not a horror fan. Just like I'm not a military action fan, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
I mean, Dennis the Menace, I mean...
I even watched the TV show, like the one in black and white, Dennis the Menace, the old one.
But hey, Scott Walker, let me tell you something. Since you told us you're 32, me and Wonder we're 37, so we know exactly what you're talking about. Listen, me and Wonder, we are 37, so we need our blood sugar. So we need like a 4-hour podcast for that, man. Uh-huh. And Disney's Peter Pan, come on, man. Hey.
Disney's Peter Pan, and also the one with Robin Williams, Hook. Have you seen Hook? 1992, I think, 93.
Of course.
That was a great movie.
And Karate Kid, come on, man. We're in the same boat here. Lion King, I can talk about for 3 hours. I have so many things. And anyway, hey, listen. Hey, before we end, I really want to say Zezzy and Scott Walker, both of you, thank you so much. Sometimes I know we may talk about things you might not be interested in, but thank you for always leaving a like.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
A lot of feedback.
Yeah, please support us. Leave a like. We appreciate it so much. And we won't forget it, okay, guys? Thank you so much. We will be... Me and Wonjin, as we have pizza and chicken after this podcast, we will be discussing this issue. But anyway, hey, watch our review of Napoleon, the theatrical cut, and watch our previous podcast, and please send it to your friends. We won't forget it. Thank you so much. We really got to go now. Hey, shout out to Zezzy and Scott Walker again. And shout out to another one of our loyal subscribers, Ichan Hong.
Subscribers.
Shout out to Yongjin. Shout out to all our 27 subscribers. Please leave a like. We really appreciate it. Don't think we don't appreciate it. And thank you so much. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. We'll be back next week on Saturday. We might be talking about Godzilla Plus One, the movie.
And we also found this show called Monarch. The Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah, it's a TV series spin-off from the movies recently. We're also going to watch The Reacher.
Yeah.
We don't know which one we'll do, but all of this genre we love.
Does The Reacher come out next week?
I think it's next week, man.
There are times we have nothing to watch that week. Then we can always talk about old movies and stuff. But we'll discuss guys, future plans.
Hey, Wonjin, let me do some selling a little. If you guys leave enough reply and like, we might do a Saturday, Tuesday run, guys. Guys, support us. We love you guys. Thank you so much. But anyway, we will be coming up with a show next week. We will be talking about Fargo continuously, the prior seasons. And Scott Walker, hey, Wonjin, I have an idea. We might do a 90s classic thing. Yeah. Because I know where Scott is coming from because Scott is just trying to say, I think, there was a generation thing to our thing. And, hey, Wonjin is pretending not to say it, but he's actually more a fan of the 80s and 90s.
That's right. Movies. You have no clue.
He hates movies these days, possibly.
Yeah, see those posters right there?
Yeah. Yeah. This is our little studio. Hey, again, now we really got to end it because I'm hungry as fuck. Guys, wherever you are, have your lunch, breakfast, dinner. Big shout out to Zezzy and Scott Walker again. Big shout out to Ichan Hong. Big shout out to one of our first subscribers, Yongjin. Big shout out to every one of our 27 subscribers. Thank you so much. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. Thank you to our awesome subscribers. I was Joe.
I was Wonjin.
And we'll see you next week on Saturday KST. Okay? If it's Friday on your time, we'll see you then. Bye.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bon appetit, Zedzi. Scott Walker, have a great day. Zedzi, have a great day. Love your name, Scott Walker.